Welcome back to another episode of On Time, and for the first time in On Time, I'm going to say welcome back to a guest, not just welcome. And that is our very first, our inaugural guest, Andrew, Mr. J. Lee 5050.
Thank you. I don't really know what to say.
Let it out, man. Let it out.
I know I said that the first time, but I feel like I'm coming back to like a high school reunion, except I hated high school. But I love you guys, and I feel very honored to come back. This is amazing what you guys done in the past year. How am I supposed to compete against a movie star and an industry executive during a short period of time? You guys really done some really big stuff, man. You know,
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
Have you seen your own collection?
Oh, well, no, sometimes I just prefer not to because it scares me.
You know what? Most importantly, this isn't about competing. It's about different stories and different flavors.
Yeah, true. I agree. But sometimes when I do take a step back and look at my collection and I just realize how stupid I was.
Well, let's hear more about that.
Exactly. Yeah, you know what we've been up to, clearly. But what the hell have you been up to, man?
Okay, so pretty much 2 W's, work and watches, because I'm a loser. Literally, I don't do anything except just work and watches.
And laundry.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
WWL.
I guess. I need clean underwear, right?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not.
Watches are still more important.
Yeah, watches, yeah.
Have you heard the Tom Petty remix?
No, I haven't.
Free balling?
Free balling? Oh,
Yeah.
let's not go there.
Okay. I like that song. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But you got to wear the right pants for that because, you know,
Yes.
you can
do
tear
have
something off.
No,
yeah.
I thought free balling is no pants.
Well, no. No. Okay. All right.
Okay, man, talk about, man, okay, never mind. Wow, we are going way off tangent.
Wait a minute. Don't you work in a restaurant?
Yes, I do.
That can't be sanitary.
No, not at all.
All right.
So your watches have to stand up to that.
Yeah, so I go by 2 rules. I just kind of decide to stay a little more focused on what I want. I have sort of a grocery list, I guess, per se. And I'm just crossing them off one by one.
It has been a little while since we first recorded our episode with you, and I know that there's been a few things going on with your collection, the state of the collection. So what's in, what's out?
Yeah, so where to start?
Well, tell us about the part where you balled out since the last time you were on the show.
Okay.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I guess the last time I was on the show, I did sort of spend like a sailor on shore leave.
Sort of. Yeah.
Let's start with no particular order, I guess.
I love how you actually made a list and you had to go through your Instagram to figure out exactly what you bought.
Yeah, because I just love these things, man. But I don't keep track, which is bad too, but which is good. But that, okay, I don't know what. I don't know what that makes. Okay, that doesn't make sense.
All right. There's no need for explanation right now. We just want to hear how you've been, what you've got, and tell us why you actually picked it up, because there's a few that I am very curious about, and I want to ask you a few questions about. Let's go down the list, and if it's the one that I want to ask you a question about, then I'll just interrupt you rudely and won't apologize, and then we'll go on from there. How's that work?
Okay, that's
All right.
fine. Okay, so I guess going down the list, everyone knows I collect modern and vintage, and during the span of maybe a year and a half, I try to balance it out a little bit. So I've picked up a vintage Monza, which Tag Heuer recently kind of
Revived.
Yeah, I think they're great value.
You're talking about the vintage is the great
Yeah, the
value.
vintage,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
I bought another Omega Seamaster. This one is a 200. They call it the Shome. It's got this big, funky, blocky case, which I really love.
Yep.
And I also bought a Date 840, which is really,
Bringing out the gangster in you.
I guess.
Well, on that one, you have one of the first of the new calibers, the 3255.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the right size case at 40.
Yes, that watch, I totally agree. I think they did a bang-up job with the case, unlike the previous version where the bezel just looked really off. It was just really unproportional.
I think the older was the 41.
Oh yeah, the 41 just wasn't just really...
The bezel was really thick.
Yeah.
It basically
Well, that whole
looked
watch
like-
was
yeah.
just thick. It looked like they injected some steroids into it.
The thing was, it looked like everything outside the dial got larger.
Right.
Than,
But the dial stayed the same.
right.
Yeah.
And that was really just weird looking. It actually looked, honestly, to me, like a fake. It looked like a bad fake where
No
they
shit.
didn't get the proportions right, and you end up with this like really wide, almost like as wide as a twist tie bezel around the watch.
Okay.
That's just my personal view on
No,
the
I
piece.
agree. I agree. But the 40, they completely nailed it in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a pretty watch.
And I went with the white gold because it just flies under the radar. Nobody knows it's gold unless you know it's a date.
Well,
Right,
unless
right.
you look at it and it shines, well,
It shines
Let's
a
just
little
put
bit
it that way.
differently. Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, picked up a Weiss. Yeah, my first Weiss from Cameron.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. Gave me the tour and the whole 9 yards. Got to pick it up from his factory. That
And you
was
got
really
the
nice.
automatic one, right?
Yeah, I got the automatic one. That was pretty recent.
And that's the one with the Eterna automatic.
Yes, the
Right.
Turna 39.
What's the size on that one?
38. It was
Oh,
a 38
perfect.
millimeter.
Great
Yeah.
size.
Literally perfect.
Yep. Got my first big pilot, which is really cool.
And kind of shocking at the same time that it took you so long to get a big pilot.
Yeah. And then I picked up my second Speedy. The first one I sold, the Mark II, and then I picked up a Pre-Moon. So that was kind of cool.
Is that with the 321 or is that?
No, I picked up the one with the 861, but it's got all the characteristics of a Pre-Moon.
So it has straight lugs.
No straight lugs, but it's got the hippocampus caseback, the dot over 90, and the 1039 bracelet, I believe. Yeah.
Cool.
So
Hey, Andrew, for everyone that's listening, including myself, can you explain what the hippocampus is?
honestly, I don't even know what it is either. It just looks like some animal. I don't know.
Chase, please chime in.
So the hippocampus actually, I will admit, confused me for a very long time, even up until now. The hippocampus is part of the brain. And when I had first heard that, I assumed it had to do with the shape of the caseback. But interestingly, hippocampus is also the term that's used for that sea creature, that pseudo seahorse that's like a seahorse squid on the back of the Speedmasters, and I think, and the Seamaster. It's the Omega seahorse that people know of. And so anyway, the hippocampus caseback then has that sea creature on it in a different, I think in a larger format.
Who the hell came up with that name?
Someone that was not using their hippocampus, quite possibly.
Last but not least, the creme de la creme. I actually bought myself my first true independent. I picked up an MB&F.
Nice.
Very nice.
It's an HMX. Max released it for his 10th anniversary, which was 2 years ago. It was out on the second market, and obviously I have to have the color blue. It was released in, I believe, 20 pieces per 4 colors, and blue was one of them, and I had to have the blue.
What were the others?
Red, green, and black, I believe.
You made the right choice.
Yeah.
Is that the
Right.
one with the black? Is that the Black Badger?
No, the Black Badger came out after.
After.
Yeah, with the glowing disc.
Right. But it's the same watch.
Yes, same watch. Black Badger released it in 3 colors and 18 pieces each.
And it's similar in configuration. What I mean by that is it's similar in mechanics and somewhat looks to
mechanically and design, it's the same exactly.
I'm actually not talking about the Black Badger one. I'm talking about the one that looks like the Lamborghini Miura.
Yes, that was his inspiration for it.
Right.
Sort of the supercars of the 70s. You know, it's got that slope back, top sapphire, and the engine type covers on the top.
So what was the name of the MB&F that actually looked like the Miura? The one that you can toggle the
That one is the HM5.
HM5. Okay, cool.
You mentioned that it's blue, and it comes as no surprise to anybody that knows you or even doesn't know you and maybe has heard you or sees your Instagram that you like blue watches. And for a lot of us that are more mature collectors, we learn about ourselves more and we get to know what we like and what we don't. But you've gone a step further and you actually have rules for yourself.
Yeah.
And blue is a part of those rules.
It's like you've passed puberty. Instead of just banging anything that has legs, at this point, you've got standards.
Okay, I guess. No.
That was the right answer.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I ended up that blue road. I think I may be the only collector that collects based on color. I know collectors that collect based on brand.
Sounds a little tiny bit racist. Little tiny bit
I
racist.
guess,
Maybe in
yeah.
the wording. Let's try that again.
Okay. Blue is just my thing. It's been my thing for a while now. It's the direction that I want to go into. And it's part of one of 2 rules I have for modern. Blue being the first one.
And let's clear that up. The Omega, and I hate to bring in Basel because I really don't care because it was such a bore this year. The Omega, the blue ceramic, is that acceptable? What if it's a black dial and blue case?
Or any color dial. Let's say it's
Any color dial, but the case is blue. Is that an acceptable watch?
Oh, man.
Like a
now we're
white
getting
dial.
into the fine print.
Well,
right?
yeah. I mean, we got to know, we have to understand why it is that you're so fixated on the blue. I understand your fixation on a particular color. I'm a black dial guy. but this is not about me. This is about Jay Lee 50/50.
In all fairness, I guess I would make an exception if the case was blue but the dial was black, or let's say what's inside the watch was black but let's say the case was blue. I guess I can make an exception for that.
I think what it is that blue has to be the dominant color, and it just so happens based on the way watches are built that the only color you really get to choose is the dial, because the case is limited to the materials, and until very, very recently, we didn't have blue case materials. I don't think it violates the rules because he likes blue dials, but maybe it's just blue watches.
Okay, follow-up question. What if it's just blue hands?
No.
Okay,
Not at
solves
all.
that problem.
I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Okay.
That means basically almost all watches.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm saying something like, what if a Kari Voutilainen comes across your hands at an unbeatable price, and it's got blue Breguet hands and a white dial?
No.
No?
No, I can't do it. I would rather commission...
Free. What if it was free?
Okay, I guess I would sell it and commission Kari for another one.
Oh, you heartless bastard.
These rules, though, they don't apply to your vintage pieces.
No, that's the exception. And I know a lot of people, every time I post some of my vintage pieces or I post someone else's vintage pieces, everyone always comments on Instagram, oh, but it's not blue. But here it is. For the record, vintage is the exception. It doesn't have to be blue. It's more on condition and if I'm drawn to the piece emotionally. For modern, it's just simpler. Just one per brand, and it's got to be blue.
Okay, so here's a question for the modern.
I don't know, man. Just leave me alone. I just love the color blue.
This episode of On Time was recorded and engineered by Michael Senderovich with supervision by Tim Hatayama.
Team OTP is Kenshu Production and Savada and Dune on social media.
Our theme song was composed and recorded by Hubie Wang.
Our guest on this episode was Jay Lee 5050. Find him on Instagram at jaylee_5050. And while you're on Instagram, make sure to follow us as well at On Time Podcast. For the entire OTP team, this is Mike.
And this is Chase. Thank you for listening to On Time.